What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, today I have a short horror film to check out. This one is by request. It is titled Stucco. It is by Alter, and as usual, I leave the original video in the description area if you guys want to check it out on your own later. Otherwise, you can stick around and watch my reaction to this, and I can give you guys my thoughts, as usual, after the film. So if you guys, by the way, are enjoying the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. I see a lot of people watching these videos in my analytics, and a lot of them are not subscribed. You know, not just some of them are not subscribed. So I request you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys really want to check out more content. If you are enjoying the channel, of course. Those of you who have, welcome to the channel, and I, as always, appreciate you guys for your support. I really do. But let's go ahead and jump into this one here, and of course, let's get scared. Answer the phone.
I'm not calling to talk about us. He just showed up at my work and he said that he knew everything about you and me. And I said I don't know anything because I don't. Well, he said you moved out. Okay, cool. I guess I don't get to know about that part either. I thought that we would do this together. I miss you.
Hate that feeling. That's happened to me from time to time again. It sucks. What is that? Oh, she just made it worse. Oh my God, I can't watch this. She should have just let that dry there.
It's on its way.
Huh. That was cool.
Send a text to Lydia. First of all, thank you so much for making this move such an easy process! Exclamation point. I just had one question, comma. I was putting up a piece of art on a wall and it sounded hollow, comma, almost as if there was an open space on the other side, question mark. No rush, comma. I just wanted to see if I could get the original blueprints, question mark. Thank you, comma, smiley face, so much! Exclamation point.
I'll send it.
She sounds more intellectual than the machine does. Did you hear that? She was like spot on.
And I'm happy to keep Skyping, but it's time for you to come to the office. I really think that those meditation Are you
Uh-oh.
alright?
Yeah, I think I'm just,
Coming down with something.
cold.
Well, let's use that. Make a quick trip to the drugstore. Look, even if it's only 10 minutes, you're still leaving. That little trip would be a major success.
I can
Oh.
do it. Okay, just do it.
What? No way.
It's on its way.
Hello, my beautiful unicorns. Good morning. Now, get into your most comfortable mudra. Close your eyes. I want you to see a throne of your own making,
Wait, why didn't you step outside?
a symbol of power, a symbol of conquering. We are powerful. Let go and surrender yourself to the power. Deep breath. You feel your body start to pull towards it. You're standing before your throne. The throne you deserve.
She looks like the girl that played Storm in that X-Men Apocalypse movie. Is that her? Oh, what the heck? That's gross. Better seal that hole. Something just.
As I lay down here thinking of just what could be, but I'm stuck here daydreaming.
What's happening?
In my fantasy, wanted to know what it feels like with you in my arms. Oh, to hold you, oh, to touch you. My imagination is running so wild over you, and the temptations got me bugging. I don't know what to do. If I could kiss you, oh baby, I know the truth. The wonder of you.
What am I watching right now?
Hey, I just want to talk for like a second, please. You were supposed to be it. I just want to know how long it was going on. Come on, I see your car, which means you're here.
That dude that was calling her earlier.
Please.
can't ignore me.
So those are the terms.
Oh, okay. That what?
Do you understand everything?
But you're not gonna arrest him, are you? Because it's not really his fault.
No, we're not. Are you living here alone?
Just filing a restraining order.
Get a security camera.
Seriously. Yeah, what is that now? I thought she was drinking NyQuil or something. Maybe it is, I can't even tell. Oh. This is progressively getting worse and worse. Oh my god, does she not see this? Oh!
Hi, you. I am so happy to hear your story. I just knew something about that place was gonna help. Okay, so it's only one bedroom. I know, I checked the original blueprints and there was nada. But maybe there was like a renovation that wasn't permitted or something was covered up after the house was built in 1941. Now, most people might find that creepy, but I find it exciting, don't you? Anyway, ring me back if you find anything on the other side. I hope you're doing well. I really do. Kisses.
Oh, please do something about it this time. You serious? Ow. Oh. Is that a tooth? Wait, how did she end up on the floor there? Oh, what? Oh man, that's making me feel nauseous. There's a young woman in the painting. I don't know if is it like a religious painting? It's a whole another realm. Oh my god. This is some evil within stuff going on here. Oh man. Jesus. Oh god. There you go. Nice. That thing almost had her. She finally stepped outside. I just got it. All right, you guys, there you have it. That was Stucco. So, first of all, I had to kind of wrap my head around the symbolism here. I understood visually what was going on at the end. I definitely started to understand a little bit more what the whole thing was leading to. But I had to kind of read through some of the people's comments to also get a better idea. So, it looks like what she was going through was this thing called agoraphobia. And it's something that where well, you guys know what it means, right? It's just for those of you who don't know, I had to look it up as well. It's just basically like when you're afraid to go into public, like you're afraid of any situation in public, outside, or like you can't overcome in a situation where you have to leave or go outside. I mean, that's kind of like the way I understood it. And in this story, she's pretty much indoors all the time and just talking to technology. This it looks like this boyfriend, this old ex-boyfriend, is still trying to keep in touch with her, but she wants nothing to do with him, and he keeps trying to find her, and even going to her house in a creepy way and trying to get her to open the door, and of course posting notes on the window saying you can't ignore me, like creepy stuff like that. So this is kind of like what I was getting with the boyfriend, but apart from that too, there's a scene where she's talking to somebody in the laptop. It looks like I don't know who she is of her. It looked like a therapist or something, and she was saying like that she should go to the grocery store. Let's like start there. But rather than her going to the grocery store, or I mean, I'm sorry, to the drugstore, she just kind of pauses right there by the door and just doesn't go out. And so right there, I was thinking, is she trying to avoid somebody like this guy, for example, because he's a bad person? He hurt her really bad, and he's just acting up really, like acting strange now with her. And is she afraid of going outside as well? What's going on? She's constantly. This whole film is taking place in the house, and so it starts off with her trying to like just hang up a picture on the wall, like an art picture, which we don't really see much of. We just kind of get glances of it and look like a young woman in the picture. I couldn't tell if it was religious or if it was something else that she painted. It almost looked like the Mona Lisa as well, and something mixed with like the Virgin Mary paintings or like Catholic paintings like that. But I couldn't tell what it was. Maybe you guys know what it is. If you let me know in the comment section. But anyway, she's trying to hang this up and she can't do it. Rather than hanging it up, she instead breaks this hole in the wall, which by the way is looks terribly thin. I think that wall could have been way thicker, but it just looks super thin. And that wall separates her, looks like just outside, or is it the garage? I think it's just outside. It separates outside from the hallway. It just looks super bad. But she breaks this hole through there, and so from here is where it just kind of starts to build up. This hole begins to like make her sick. She's kind of coming down with a cold, and this hole progressively just gets nastier. There's even a part where she has a dream where like that totally threw me off. It felt like a whole different like mood in the film. It just totally changed to something like comedic slash uh like slash sexy, I guess. I don't know. It was just weird. And she's walking to this hole where there's like a tongue sticking out, and she just well, you guys saw what she does. It was totally off-putting, and then she just wakes up from that. Now, as the movie progresses, the hole becomes even more gross. Well, of course, we get those scenes with like the boyfriend trying to like get in touch with her or trying to get her to talk to him, and she's just completely avoiding him. She's getting a call from a friend or something, but she just kind of stays disconnected from the outside world pretty much in the whole film. And as the film progresses, like I said, the hole just starts to get gross, like even more gross. And there's a point where she just closes the door and completely ignores this gigantic crack on the wall where we can see that something is trying to break through there, and she just ignores it right after she brushes her teeth and she goes to bed. So they cuts to her sleeping in the hallway after that, and so I was kind of confused because I was like, wait, didn't she close the door and go to bed? And I thought this was her still, still in the real world. Everything was happening like this, but this was actually another dream. But this one was a way longer one, which eventually we find out towards the end of the film that it's a dream, right? But as she's dreaming this, she wakes up by this, the rotting hole there, the wall that's rotting there in the hole, and she starts to see through her laptop what's going on the other side of that wall. And there's like a person just kind of like puking an arm or something. I don't know where this arm just comes out of nowhere. You can see this person like arched and then just puking this stuff out or something, and then the arm just goes through the hole there. And so it's almost like if it's trying to reach out for her through that hole, right? So she freaks out so much that she eventually closes the laptop, but then eventually she gets up and pretty much goes towards the wall over there. And right there is where she gets this hammer, this really huge, what's it called? It's just a big hammer, right? And she hits the stucco, like all that wall, and completely breaks it because now she really wants to find out what's going on behind that wall. But again, this is a dream sequence, so this is all just happening in the dream, and this is why she's just going out there and just facing whatever is behind this wall. So I know after she breaks this wall, she sees in the distance. I mean, she walks into a whole another realm, and then in the distance, there's this chair made up of, you guys saw, like this really disturbing chair made up of human parts, and just all completely mutated and just mixed with each other. It really was some weird, like, Evil Within type of stuff. If you guys have played the Evil Within games, there's like a monster in there with all kinds of parts also put in there. Even like the Last of Us game has a monster in I think in the second game where it's like all of the human parts are just mixed into it. And so this was pretty much what was going on here. I'm sure there's so many other games that have this, like horror games and stuff. And I thought that was really disgusting. And so we can see that this chair has arms that it's just calling her to come towards it. And then so eventually it forces her through like this sort of like gravitational pull towards the chair. It forces her to come and then just sit down on this chair, and then like crowns her with this ugly crown made up of like a jaw and like gums and teeth, and then fingers coming out of it, which is I was like, who thought about this? this is disgusting. This is genius though. This is really, really good horror. So I was just noticing too that as this thing is being put on her, she's beginning to like the feeling. You can see there she like, made a face of like pleasure or comfort, that kind of thing. But then all of a sudden she just kind of snaps out of it and realizes that she's in this disgusting chair being pulled in, and somehow this chair is also like really gripping parts of her body where it looks like it's kind of going to make her part of that chair. It's like it's going to take her body parts and just make her part of that chair as well. But luckily, because she realizes that she's falling into this trap, she breaks out of this thing, or this like gravitational pull, this trance that she's under. She breaks out of it, and then she starts to lift that hammer that she still has and hits the chair, right? So then right here it cuts off. Everything just goes black here. And then all of a sudden she wakes up and she's outside, and she actually hit her car outside of her house. So she was, I guess, sleepwalking in this case, and just hitting this wall unconsciously. And then when she hit this wall, eventually she got outside to her car. And so this is when we get this moment of like relief and overcome. Like she overcame her fear of walking out into public. And I mean, you can even see the first thing that happens when she goes out and hits the car. There's somebody already taking a picture out there across the street. And I was like, yep, people are just going to like pinpoint and watch every little move you do. If you have something like that happens to you that's embarrassing, a lot of people are going to see it and they're going to record, nowadays. So that's the first thing that happens. But instead of her being totally embarrassed about it and all of that, she instead just like smiles in relief. And yeah, we can see that again, she overcomes this thing. So I really like the symbolism in this film, how it portrayed this like state of depression, this struggle to get out of your own comfort zone, right? Or at least this struggle to not be able to go outside and see and talk to people and just overcome situations like that. So I really like what they did here with this film, and they really just portrayed it as like a disgusting disease just starting to destroy her body, and this stink coming out from behind the wall, this ugly mutated thing just calling her from behind the wall. It looks like there too, I don't even know what the symbolism was there, where she starts kind of going towards the wall and towards this tongue. I don't understand the meaning there, but I think like she was just pretty much like, I don't know, finding a substitute for pleasure, I guess, in her world of loneliness. I don't know. That's kind of what I got from it, but maybe it meant something else. I thought this whole thing was interesting, though. I really like how they portrayed it as just this disgusting monster. And so, yeah, I mean, if you guys have ever had an addiction or something that you can't overcome, it does sometimes feel like this. I mean, I've had, I wouldn't say an addiction, but I've had this feeling where I'm really comfortable at home. Like I'm a really big homebody. Like I like to be busy at home. I'm always working, but I'm usually just doing all of my work at home. So I like to be at home all the time, and I hardly ever travel. After a while, it just got hard for me to step out of the house and go on a trip, go on a hike, go do something. And I love hiking too, but there was the time in my life where I got so stuck at home where I got super comfortable. And again, it was really hard. It was really difficult to step out of the house and go outside and talk to people. I couldn't even talk to people correct. That's how bad it got. So, I mean, it feels like something is eating you up inside, removing your intelligence, your ability to communicate with other humans. And not only that, it just really disconnects you from being human. Yeah, you kind of just lose emotions too. You just become this like robot. And by the way, speaking of robot, she sounded super articulate when she was, voice typing on the phone. I mean, that was incredible. That was really, really clean the way she said it. She sounded smarter than the phone. I thought that was really clean how she did that. But, I just one other thing I wanted to point out. But what did you guys think about this one? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really did enjoy this myself. I really appreciate the recommendation. And please continue to recommend more films for me, especially from Alter. But I'm always open to any other channel. every channel has their way of recording or filming their styles, right? So I always appreciate looking at different styles. I haven't seen Jaya Kapoor films in a while. That's one of the channels I first was reacting to when I started my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm gonna probably react to some Jaya Kapoor films. That's also another good horror channel. But I would say, yeah, Alter, their quality is a little bit better, to be honest. If I may be honest about that, I really have enjoyed all the films though. I just think that Alter has a better quality with that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this with me. I hope you all have a good evening, a good night, a good morning, whenever it is that you're watching this. Take care of yourselves. Peace.